guys. Running a little bit behind, so I'm gonna put my hair up and then I'll meet you back here. Welcome. Welcome. Happy Saturday. I hope everyone had a pretty good day, and if you're already into Sunday, happy Sunday. Hi Nez. Ahoy, ahoy. So first things first, guys. I kind of messed up. I kind of made a boo-boo. I turned on Super Chats yesterday, and I'm a total noob at this. Google takes 30% of all the money that you're giving me, because Google owns YouTube. And we now know that Google is not a friendly giant. They have fired workers for unionizing. They use a lot of questionable permalancing labor. They're a monster, like Amazon. So I'm going to leave the super chat function on simply because I don't know how to get the super chat money that you guys gave me yesterday out of my account yet. Google makes me link it up to AdSense, which is a whole new different account. I have to enter my tax information, I have to enter my bank information, and then I have to figure out how to actually make that money that's in YouTube Super Chat function right now go into my AdSense account and then transfer that AdSense remaining account after they take out their 30% chunk into my bank account. Which is to say, I'm leaving the Super Chat on because I want to get your money that you gave me yesterday out, but I don't want you to give me any more money through Super Chat because YouTube is going to take 30% of that. And why would any of us want to give money to YouTube? So that's my bad. I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. I'm totally new at this and I had no idea, but of course I should have known. Google sucks. YouTube sucks. But here we are. I'm so happy to see you guys. Yes, a Spleeny did mention 30%, and apparently it takes a month to go into your account. Jesus Christ. So I tried to Google it. I tried to be like, can I turn off super chats but still get my money? Or does it just take all of the money that's in there once I turn it off? And I could not find an answer. YouTube has this really scary notification when I go to turn off super chats that the message is, you are aware of all the implications of turning off Super Chat. And I'm like, I don't know what the implications are of turning off Super Chat. I have no idea what the implications are. So, Pickle, what was your idea? Everybody's saying good idea, but I missed your idea. I'm going to turn on our video. Patreon? Yeah, guys, I told you I didn't have a Venmo yesterday, but Aaron was like, June, it's 2021, you should really have a Venmo. So I made a Venmo. So if you do feel like giving me money, I guess you can give it to my Venmo. Let me figure out what my... Yeah, Nez, I did friend you. Nez, is my username thank9stars? Is that my user? Yes. My username is the same thing as my Instagram username, which is my Chinese name, literally translated, thank 9 stars. The 9 is a number. Everything else is spelled normally. So don't give me Super Chat money, please, because I don't want to pay Google more money. Google doesn't deserve more money. Google is a monster. But that's that. That's 4 minutes of me telling you guys what an idiot I am. Thank you, Claire. Yeah, I tried to like move my tripod yesterday to get it a little bit more secure, but you know what? Cheap things are cheap. They'll still function just like cheapos, but we'll make do. If you want to remind me, let's remind me to push in my tripod. Thank you guys for bearing with me while we're all learning together. I'm learning this whole new thing, and yes, sorry I called myself an idiot. I mean, sometimes I do feel very dumb. It's okay to be an idiot sometimes. I'm not an idiot most of the time, so that's good. So we have these tomatoes that I bought last week. They are starting to turn a little sad. They got like pokey and aggressive in the bag, and they started attacking each other. So I was like, all right, guys, I'm gonna put you in the timeout corner, aka cook you forever. Rebecca, I have not taken my vitamin D today yet. Thank you for the reminder. I will once Aaron comes and gives me his height, because the vitamin bottles are all the way up there and I can't reach because I'm 5'4" on a good day. So I asked on Instagram what people wanted me to cook tomatoes with, and there were a lot of tomato and egg recommendations, and I'm like, yes, that is a very easy dish to cook. Let's cook that. So tomato and egg stir fry served over rice or noodles, usually in Chinese cuisine. 番茄炒鸡蛋, tomato stir fried egg. So that's what we're gonna make with these today. We're gonna crack open some eggs, scramble them lightly. We're gonna stir fry these tomatoes until they're nice and juicy. We're gonna add a little bit of salt and sugar and spices if we want. And then it's gonna get nice and like half soupy and half saucy, and you fold the eggs back in and it's like a little bit sweet, a little bit tart, a little bit salty, a little bit umami. And then we're going to pair it with some rice. And I have a lot of rice. And I have this like very short grain, tiny Indian, I think it's Indian rice. Oh no, where is it? I need a chair. I'm too short. I spent 4.5 hours cleaning my house today so that like we can introduce Fred to a cleaner environment, but we'll see. We'll see how long that lasts. So this is the rice. It is so cute. Fred is a elderly cat who's got a lot of ailments that we're trying to adopt, and we're planning on picking him up tomorrow from Brooklyn. They're such tiny grains, like really tiny. Can you see how tiny they are? They're like baby rice. Unfortunately, I forgot what these are called, but I got them from Patel Brothers, which is a Indian grocery store chain. Y'all really want me to take my D. All right, okay. Yes, Mom. Thank you, Mom. We got my C. Oh, we got my D. Y'all are too funny. Is this the rice you use on Aaron's food time? I don't think so. So Nowco, I don't think risotto would work very well with this grain because it's a short grain, but it's also kind of a long grain ratio-wise, because while it's short, it's also very skinny. So it kind of tastes more like a long grain rice to me. So it doesn't have that like starchy quality that you would find in something like a Japanese short grain or a kind of Italian risotto grain. So it's not very creamy. It's very good for like crispy fried rice because it's just so skim tasting. You know, it tastes a little bit like straw. All right, guys, thank you so much for your vitamin reminder. There we go. Yes, I feel healthier already. All right, so we're going to wash our tomatoes. We're going to rinse our rice. I'm going to do that like finger knuckle trick where I don't actually measure the ratio of proper rice to water and I just eyeball it. Does anyone do that like middle school, high school thing where you collect all these stickers on a notebook and you just like watch them grow and consume your entire cover? Does anyone still do that? I used to like stare lovingly and enviously at people in high school who had curated notebooks of these. What about banging the bowl? Yes, we can. Not gonna lie, this like monetization slash super chat thing has been stressing me out. It's really not worth it. Like, money actually brings me pain. Here and now. Do you ever shift your focus and it just kind of clears everything out for you? I had so many thoughts going on in my mind, and the minute I tuned in to the sound of the bowl, my focus shifted from being smushed everywhere to the bowl sound disappearing, to the sound outside my window, to the cars passing by on the asphalt, and to the little low vibrations that it makes on the block. It's kind of amazing, guys. A little bit of magic right here. Yes, we do have a lot of bananas. It is because I spent $2 on all of these bananas and about 60% of them are bruised. And so I'm gonna freeze them and we're gonna make smoothies. And then Aaron's gonna eat the rest. See, they look beautiful, but if you like press them, you can tell that they were either dropped or crushed, and soon they'll start turning black inside. So I just kind of gently molest them a little bit, and I pick out the ones who were bruised and injured, and then I make them go take a nap in the freezer. I made this hand balm almost 2 years ago, and we're down to the very last nub. I have a lot of like skin conditions, and actually a lot of lotions don't work for me, or they make my skin conditions worse and they make my blisters crack more. So I've started just making my own hand balm with a little bit of beeswax and whatever oils I have hanging around. It's pretty nice. You get to flavor it. The skin condition that I was diagnosed with is called lichen planus. It's just not very pretty, you know? You can Google it. I won't stop you, but I don't recommend it. So, my hand feels very loved right now. We're going to rinse our rice. Do we think this is enough for tonight, or should I cook more? I feel like this is like 3/4 cup. 3/4 cup rice would yield a little over 2 cooked. I think we should go a little more. I'm not very hungry because I did eat like 1/4 of a jar of peanut butter, but Somebody's very honky outside. Tell me when. Tell me when. Oh, last night's mush? Thank you guys for telling me when. It's gonna be a lot of rice. I ate last night's mush. I still have a little bit. Dell, you're leaving already? Bye, Dell. So apparently when you rinse rice, this kind of milky looking water is supposed to be really good for washing your face or hair with. But when I tried to wash my face with rice water, I broke out. So your mileage may vary, but a lot of people really like this as a light, gentle cleanser. I don't know. Let me know if it works for you, or let me know if it gives you terrible breakouts like it did me. I think my skin pH is just so... Ooh, water my plants with rice water? Oh dang, I already water them. I am oily skinned. My T-zone is very oily skinned. You know what? I'll put it into my pot that is drying out because I don't have any plants. I just spilled rice water all over my floor that I cleaned today. Oops. Some of these days. I usually do 3 to 4 rinses. I like to see the clarity at least half transparent. Like this, when you can actually see the rice in the bowl rather than just one straight up murky bowl. Ice water, really nice. So while it's not a lot of rice, I'm going to use my big pot because I want to try to see if we can make some guoba on the bottom, which is basically just like a layer of almost burnt rice where it gets a little bit golden and crispy. I don't know if it's going to work with this rice. It's worked really well with a lot of my more sticky rices, but we'll see. Rice in, and then I rinse some water to get all the remaining rice grains out. Let me bend you down a little bit. So I would say that's a pretty good amount. So the tip of my finger touches the surface of the rice, and then the top of the water kind of almost reaches this knuckle, but because I have a fairly shallow layer of rice, I don't need to go up to the full first knuckle. It's kind of just guesswork, guys, honestly. Clamp the lid on it, we'll wait for it to come up to a boil, and then we'll turn the heat down low. How's the audio today? Is the audio good? Hi, London. Yes, eyeballing. Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it, guys. I'll take money from you someday somehow. Don't worry about it. I just want everyone to hold off on super chatting money to me right now because I just really don't want YouTube/Google to have any more money. They don't need it. I also started going through some of my older videos that I monetize, and I've realized that some of them have like 18 ads in it, which is insane. Hi, Yorkshire. So I started deleting some of them from the videos, but it's gonna take me a while to like check out where they put the ads and figure out how. It's just gonna take me a while, so bear with me. I don't know if anybody's watching reruns of those long ass lives, but know that I am deleting some of the ads because the automatic amount of ads that YouTube puts in those videos is insane. Insane. They put some ads like 3.5 minutes apart. I'm like, who is gonna watch this? Thank you, Brain Grace. Pushing tripod. Tripod is pretty good if I don't change my angle a lot, but I think every time I try to like flip the tripod. Yes, Gabriella, you use that ad blocker, girl, because I use it too. Cool. I am just going to start chopping up our tomatoes now. I still don't have our video pulled up. My goodness, what am I doing here today? What a day. What a day. How was everyone's days? What'd you guys do? What was the thing that made you most happy? Keto, carnivore, or vegetarian? I like vegetarian. I would choose vegetarian. $2 for a kilo. That's pretty good. I got four of these babies for $1 at my store, but I get really good deals. So I think these are actually over a pound. But they're probably not organic. They're probably just conventional. Whoop, we're up to a boil. We're gonna turn this down. I'm gonna turn my heat super low. So low that you can't even see it. And then I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. Usually it takes about anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes for white rice for me. So I'm just gonna set a 20-minute timer. Say hi to Aaron.
And June's friends.
Costco ice cream. Yo, somebody needs to take me to Costco and shop. I need to try that Kirkland natural peanut butter. Everyone's saying hi to you, Aaron.
I am just here to slice an apple because I'm a hungry boy.
You slice that apple.
I will.
Can you slice it on a board and a knife that's like not garlicky, please? Like maybe this one?
Ungarlicky?
Yeah.
You don't like garlic apples? What's wrong with garlic apples?
I just don't like it, man. Can I slice for you?
Sure.
Do I get to keep the core as commission?
Of course. Do you guys not like garlic apples? Why? What's with June's hate of garlic apples? I'm gonna eat this with some of our thousands of jars of peanut butter in the fridge.
Okay.
Which one should I have today?
Didn't you already start on one? Aren't you the type of person who like finish this one before moving on to the next?
I am. I asked that question, but I already had an answer.
Okay.
It was fix and fog. This is what I'm going to be eating today. How much was this?
$8.50?
$8.50, and it's not even a full pound. They try to get you. It's 13.2 ounces, the most random amount of ounces. It's good though. I like it. Not worth it for the price, but it's decent PB. Just wait till that video comes out and they hear all about Stonewall.
Oh my god.
People are gonna lose their shit.
I lost my shit. Guys, for that peanut butter video, I bought 2 jars of Stonewall Kitchen peanut butter. Guess the price of 1 jar of Stonewall peanut butter. Guess. Just guess. Not 1,000, Katie. Oh, somebody got really close. Okay, you guys are getting really close. 1 jar was $17.99. 1 jar of peanut butter. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. This is how I'm chunking my tomatoes. You can chunk them however you want. I'm kind of just cutting the whole tomato into 8 wedges and then having each wedge. I find that this gives me a nice little chunk to kind of disintegrate into a biteable size. It is criminal, Jessica. Absolutely. It was I can't tell you which one won, but I will just tell you that I would not recommend buying an $18 jar of peanut butter. Oh yeah, guys. Oh yeah. I really don't know why some of these things that we have in existence exist. I really don't know. Somebody called Jimmy Carter. Yeah, I can even find peanuts for less than $2 a pound. June, favorite ice cream flavor? Anything drink inspired, like coffee, green tea, hojicha, Earl Grey. Yum, 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 yum. Yeah. I have made my own peanut butter before. Obviously, this was for a taste test video, so I guess I could have made my own peanut butter for the taste test, but it would not have been widely retailed and available for our viewers. Purple yam? I've never had purple yam. Bailey's ice cream? Ugh, I would eat it. I would eat it. White fish with egg. Maybe. My parents used to fry a lot of small bony fish. It would always be so tedious to eat. They got like a bag of fish. They were all like 99 cents a pound. They were like tiny, like my little paring knife tiny. And my dad would like stir fry them. Sometimes I guess he might batter them in a little bit of egg before frying them. But I never liked them. They always tasted a little too fishy, and those little bones, they really like, the worst thing about those bones is sometimes they stab you in your gums. So I like to take out the core of the tomato where the stem end is. They sometimes have these like plasticky, woodsy veins that taste really unpleasant. Apple core time. No garlic for that. So here's all of our tomatoes. And guys, 番茄炒鸡蛋, tomato stir-fried eggs, is one of those recipes that you don't actually need a recipe for. You just eyeball everything. You stir-fry the eggs, you stir-fry the tomatoes, you combine them together, you serve them however you want. But I do have a recipe for it on Delish, so if you want to just Google tomato egg, maybe just Google tomato stir-fried egg Delish, and it'll probably pop up. Yeah, is geoduck a clam? Geoducks always scare me. They look so scary. I used to see them in the seafood aisle at Chinese markets. Ooh. June, do you find that every time you make tomato and eggs, they come out different? It really depends on how good your tomatoes are. Guys, our rice is already dry. It's only been 8 minutes. Look. It's dried. There's like no water left in there. What? This rice cooks so fast, guys. I wonder if it was like parboiled rice. I'm gonna lift the lid so you can smell it. You ready? 3, 2, 1. So, obviously we're not gonna cook it for 20 minutes. I am going to reset our 20-minute timer that still has 11 minutes left on it to maybe 4 more minutes, because I do want that bottom to get a little crisp. And I'm gonna shift my pot on the stove a little bit because my pot tends to get heated at the 11 o'clock position, so I just want to make sure that there's not one part of the pot that's burning completely. Let's cook our tomatoes. So for people who have cooked 番茄炒鸡蛋 before, do you usually cook your tomatoes first or your eggs first? Because I usually do my eggs first. Do you agree? How many eggs do you want to eat, Aaron?
Maybe 3 or 4 personally.
3 or 4 per person?
Yeah.
Aaron wants 3 or 4 eggs. I'm gonna do 5. Guys, I went to drop off my compost today, and when I lift up the compost bin, there was like 2 whole heads of beautiful bok choy in there. Like bok choy that I've never even seen be that good in the compost. You always do even numbers? Fine, I'll do 6. It really hurt me. I feel like one of these days I should just do a budget eats for this channel where I literally just fish out of stuff of the compost bin. Because, I don't know, I go to the one in Astoria and I guess there's a lot of rich folk there. There was one time when I went to compost and there were like rainbow beets and radishes in there. Perfect. And I don't get it. Like, those cost $4 to $8 per bunch at the farmer's market. I don't understand why people throw it away. You could literally even cook it and freeze it. I don't get it, man. That bok choy is so beautiful. And I don't even like eating bok choy. Alright, I'm going to turn my back burner on to a medium heat. The back burner is a little bit smaller in size, which means I have to turn up the heat to compensate for it. I do want to keep the rice pot on the bigger burner because the bigger burner means more even heating for our crispy toasty bottoms. Food waste is a huge thing. I remember when I was a recent immigrant to the US, I went to a public school and I had reduced fare public school lunch. I think the normal school lunch was like $1 per student, but because my parents were low income, I only had to pay 25 cents for each lunch. And I remember being shocked the first week when I saw kids just like pick the pepperonis off their pizza and like maybe another 4. It doesn't look dry enough. And maybe like eat half of the cheese on the pizza, and they would just toss the whole styrofoam tray away with the pizza 85% still on there. And I didn't know, 1, what were they eating? Like, are they not hungry? And 2, what? I've never seen food thrown away like that before. The worst things were like when it was grilled cheese, because the grilled cheese was packed in the saran wrap that was like kind of steamy and soft and it wasn't crispy. I didn't grab the bok choy, Linda. I had to like go to a friend's place to drop off some peanut butters that I had, and I didn't want to carry compost vegetables on me. But kids throwing away whole cheeseburgers because they only wanted like, I don't know, the fries that came with it. It was just mind-boggling. It was so bad. Do you want to take the...
Sure.
Do you want to sit? You can bring the chair over and you can sit if you want. Aaron's gonna moderate.
I'm just grabbing the laptop for now. I make no promises.
Okay.
Would you consider doing a dumpster dive budget eats? This is something we've talked about a lot.
Yeah, I've talked about it. It's just that dumpster diving is technically illegal, and apparently in New York City they keep these things under a very tight lock, a literal tight lock sometimes. They gate their trash area so that you can't actually access the dump. So I would probably feel like it might be more feasible for me to like just freaking random things from time to time somehow and just post the content on here rather than make a whole Budget Eats episode off of freeganing, because I truly don't know if I can source that food enough for like a whole episode. Hi Jacquelina. My ideal diet would be a freegan diet. There's so much food waste, and so unnecessarily so, that I don't understand. I don't understand.
June doesn't understand.
Have you seen the salt at all?
There's kosher up here.
Yes. Love
Okay,
it.
and
Thank
there's
you.
Malden right there.
Eggos. We're going in with some salt. I don't believe that salt in your eggs pre-cooking makes them tough. I always grew up with my parents doing it this way, so I don't understand what people are going on and on about. A little bit of black pepper, a little bit of white pepper. I don't think I would get arrested for compost diving, because the organization that runs the compost that I drop these things off at is Astoria Pug, and I always tag them in my Instagram posts, and they're always like, yeah, I can't believe people threw that away, and it's very crowdsourced and it's very grassrootsy, so I'm sure if I wanted to pick out 2 heads of bok choy from the compost, they wouldn't mind at all and they would love it. What's the taste difference between black and white? Black, you know the black, it's a little bit toasty, it's a little bit spicy. White is a little bit more androgynous, and I would also say that it's slightly musty. it gives me an off taste that if you use too much of, it almost smells like animal, a little bit animal-y, a little bit gamey. But I do believe that they are the same plant. They're just different maturities, harvested at different times. But yes, white pepper gives you a little bit of funk. It is exactly right. I saw someone say that. White pepper I love in soups, and oh, that was another 8 minutes. So that means that this rice has been going for 20 minutes. Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. Smell-o-vision time. This rice smells so weird. It doesn't smell like that fragrant, grassy, creamy, vanilla-y taste. It kind of smells like white pepper, actually. It's a little bit musty. And you know what, guys? We're just gonna keep letting this go because I don't smell the toast yet. I don't think it's burnt enough yet. We want it burnt. Just to make my cooking experience easier, I will be moving the rice to the back burner now because I don't think I can stir fry very well with a tall pot in front. Switcheroo. Our oil is nice and sleek. I'm gonna push you down a little bit. Thank you, Chili, for the reminder. Tripod is pretty secure. We're good to go. Spilling the egg into the pan is the most satisfying part.
Fred is not a ginger. Fred is like, how would you describe his color?
Fred is kind of like a long-haired tabby, but he looks like he might have some... His expression is very Maine Coon. Very like stoic and semi-majestic. But his fur is kind of rough. He looks like he's been roughed up. He's a street cat. They apparently trapped him in the Rockaways.
I'll post the Puppy Kitty NYC Insta. Post to Fred so in chat so people can see.
And I like to go for a pretty soft scramble on mine. You, of course, can do it however you want. I grew up with parents who made scrambled eggs until they were like bouncy rubber balls. Not my scene, Dad. Sorry, I ate it, but I didn't like it.
How the hell do you copy on Matt's? Is it Control C or Command C?
Command.
Command C.
Yes.
I'm Mac illiterate.
I don't know if I'm going to make Fred's food from scratch. Do you recommend that? So I think I'm stirring a little bit too much. I do want the curds to set a little bit before I disturb them, and because my heat was on so low, they're not cooking as fast as I'm used to, so I'll be a little bit more patient. Fred seems like a very gentle cat, and that is why we really wanted to adopt him, because our building is technically pet-free, and so we figured an older cat who seems very gentle probably won't be making a lot of noise, probably won't have a lot of zoomies. Fred is very cute. Fred is also very sick. Fred has a lot of illnesses going on right now, so we're hoping, as a first-time fur parent, we're hoping that we will be able to provide him with a lot of care, and if anyone has cat advice, please hit me up. We think Fred definitely has ringworm, and he's being treated. We'll probably give him some lime baths, which is what the agency told us we should do. And he also has IBS/cancer. We're not sure on that front yet. And I think he might have something else. Oh, he's also FIV positive. I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to let the curds set a little bit more with the carryover heat. And we're gonna fish it out of the pan. So you see how some eggs are sticking and you're like, oh June, this is why you should have a non-stick. I'm just going to shift my eggs to cover like this, and I'm going to let them sit in the off-heat pan for a couple of minutes, and because the curds are still so moist, that moisture is going to transfer to the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to scrape it with my wooden spatula in a couple of minutes, and it should lift all right off. If he vomits twice in a row, get him immediately to a vet. Uh-oh. Please stay away from kibble. I just bought a bag of organic kibble. Is that not good? Oh boy. Yeah, we really don't know what we signed up for. We just knew that we wanted a cat. Aaron was hankering for a cat, and I saw Fred, and I was like, I really like Fred. So, add water to the kibble. We also have wet food, and I've been told to mix kibble with wet food. Interesting. Very good advice. I'm gonna read through all of this later. Thank you guys so much. As you can see, the surface of the egg is getting a little bit matte. It's not as sloshy as before, and that's because the carryover heat is basically gently cooking it. And if I just scrape it a little bit, let's see if it lifts off. Yeah. It's gonna lift off if I stay patient.
Aren't the eggs still cooking in the pan now?
They are. It's fine.
Okay.
Unless you're...
I like a very soft, fluffy scramble.
Yes,
Personally.
Aaron's picky, guys.
I'm not picky. I'm just saying. I'm happy to eat it this way too. It's just everybody likes a nice, soft, fluffy scramble.
Yes, yes. Well, if you grew up with my parents, you'd know that they like a rock hard egg.
They have bad taste.
Yeah, well, that's the way we cook a lot of things in Chinese cuisine, is cook it until it's definitely dead. So the thing about soft scrambled eggs is, while they're nice and creamy and very enjoyable texturally on their own, sometimes they don't have that like golden toasty flavor that a lot of over hard scrambled eggs have. So you kind of have to decide if you like your mouthfeel to be creamy and luxurious, or if you want your taste to be more in-depth and developed. There is a layer, it's almost like browning butter, but browning your eggs. Tammy gets it. Yeah, everything's dry. All the meat is dead. Solidly dead.
Kibble can cause crystals and cause blockages that can be life-threatening in males because the urethra is so narrow it's a mediator to the ER. So is wet food just always best for cats? Is that what we're learning?
Well, maybe we should just water it down with wet food and a little bit of water added.
Well, I mean, does dry kibble become what wet food is if you just add water to it, or is there like something better nutritionally about wet food?
I think it really depends on your quality of kibble too, right? I don't think it's fair to, I mean, I don't have experience with cat food, so you guys are more experienced, you let us know, but I feel like there must be some higher quality kibble out there that is fine for cats.
Cats are obligate carnivores and get 70-80% of their moisture intake from their food, which makes kibble pretty awful for cats. I recommend Pet Fooled, very insightful documentary on the pet food industry. Oh God, another documentary about why the world sucks.
Oh, no.
Is there another documentary that's going to ruin yet another aspect of the world for us?
Oh, guys. I see. That makes a lot of sense. Thank you, guys. Wow, why didn't any of my cat-owning friends tell me this?
Wet food is generally better for cats because they don't tend to be good at drinking water on their own, so wet food gives them better moisture content.
Alright, a little bit more oil on the pan, and then we're gonna go in with tomatoes. Sizzle, sizzle. And I love cooking the eggs first because now you get to kind of like brown the egg bits in the pan and have that be an added layer of flavor.
Browned egg bits.
Ooh, I think the rice is also burning. Nope, not yet. We're just gonna, wow. All right.
Hello, Linda. I like how the day before we get a cat, we're still figuring out like how to feed it. Like,
Well, I feel like human parents do this too, right? Like they don't know
Yeah,
what it
that-
means to be a parent. You learn as you go, and that's how you fuck kids up.
the
But
baby just plops out, and then you have to figure out like, oh, we have a human now. What do we do with it?
parents, is that right? Is that what you experience?
Or did you like Google how to do? If you're a parent, do you like Google how to have baby, how to make baby survive first? Is that what you do? What do baby need? Do you recommend cast iron pans over nonstick and aluminum ones?
I never recommend aluminum pans, but they are very widely used in the restaurant world.
Yeah, aluminum seeps into the food.
Aluminum is very reactive, guys, and I truly don't know why restaurants use it beyond the fact that maybe it's light
Cheap.
and it's cheap. But I mean, maybe it has good cooking properties for like syrup making. Maybe it doesn't burn as readily as other stuff, and also it's light in color, so you get to see color development change. Whereas with a black cast iron, you don't really get to see like browning butter and stuff like that. There's no color contrast. But my go-to is cast iron because non-stick, if you're not careful and you start damaging that surface, it can start flaking, and one, that pan finish will be destroyed and it would no longer be non-stick, and two, that flaky substance is potentially way more carcinogenic for you than like cast iron flaking off. So
Carbon steel pans, as I understand it, are pretty much the same as cast iron pans chemically, except like usually thinner, just a different shape. We have a carbon steel pan too that I tried seasoning and then ruined. But I think it functionally is the same as cast iron.
it's getting so saucy. So saucy.
We have 3 cats with leukemia. One is blind and deaf. I assume that was a typo. Deaf, not deaf. And one has one eye. We feed them kibs and they are fine. Okay.
Somebody just said you have to see what your cat likes, you know? Because some
Yes.
cats don't want to eat certain foods. So you just have to figure out what they actually are willing to eat.
So, yeah, we'll just.
Guys, can cats eat peanut butter? Are they allowed to eat peanut butter?
How about spicy food? Do they like?
No, you can't feed them spicy food.
Well,
No.
Maybe.
No garlic, no onion.
I don't want a cat that has bad taste in food.
Right now, this is just black pepper and salt. That's it. I'm keeping it super simple, guys. I'm just gonna go until the tomatoes are about half broken down and that sauce is reduced to like a thickened compote consistency.
Xylitol-free PB should be fine. What peanut butter has xylitol in it?
Sugar-free ones, I'd imagine.
I've never seen that. Peanut butter does not provide nutrition a cat needs. Well, it doesn't provide all the nutrition humans need either, but that doesn't stop June.
It provides happiness, and that is very much a nutritional need.
Never feed cats onion or garlic. Not that that's in your PB, but just FYI. I want to make garlic onion peanut butter.
Aaron is gonna kill this cat, guys.
I didn't say I would feed it to the cat. I'm going to eat it myself. Garlic onion peanut butter. Do you have an air fryer?
No.
No, June hates air fryers.
Oh, let me.
June is anti-air fryer.
Okay, take a vote, guys. Do you want to hear my air fryer story? Who wants to hear my air fryer story?
If this was Twitch, you could put a poll in chat. Did you ever ask people if they would watch on Twitch? Or do they not know what Twitch is?
I think I asked people on Instagram once, and a lot of them were like, I'm not on Twitch, but if you went on, I would go. Guys, this is pretty broken down. You can see that if I smush it
Everybody's
with
saying
my
yes.
spatula, it's done. So I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to wait for that to die down, and I'll tell you my air fryer story. So, for Delish, like maybe almost 2 years ago, I had to test a whole bunch of air fryers, I think 8 or 9 models, and I don't know if you've used an air fryer, but at least the first few times you use an air fryer, it's basically mostly plastic construction on the outside, and the air fryer is a small unit that gets very hot. And so a lot of them smelled like melting plastic. In fact, it smelled so bad with 8 models going at once that every time somebody came off the elevator on the 29th floor in the Hearst Tower, where the Delish Test Kitchen is located, they would be like, "What's burning?" And I was like, all of these air fryers. So basically, I inhaled air fryer fumes for 8.5 hours that day. And then this was pre-COVID, obviously. I went to my boxing class, and I started feeling so out of it, like so lightheaded, that I basically tripped over my water bottle and then rolled onto my foot and then somehow managed to break one of my toes. And that toe took about 18 months to heal. It still can't bend the same way that it did before, and it was very painful up until like 4 months ago. So if you do use an air fryer, put it in a well-ventilated place. Not just one air fryer, Del, like 8 air fryers in a day. Imagine 8 air fryers going off at once for 8 continuous hours and me inhaling all of that. Like, that probably did some serious brain damage, not gonna lie. So wouldn't recommend doing that. Yeah. That's my air fryer story. The smell was sickening. It was very sickening. Guys, tomato and egg. Are we ready? Are we ready? I'm going to dump in the eggs right now, and we're gonna combine the two, and it's gonna be amazing. I haven't tried tomato and eggs with fish sauce. Amazon does own Twitch, yes. Twitch is a streaming website basically made for live streams. A lot of gamers on there. Aaron and I really love to watch Hassan, who is a political commentator. And he streams a lot. And he streams very long, very interesting political input sometimes. But yes, Twitch is owned by Amazon. So just from one tech giant to another, you know? But yeah, to be honest, do I like air fryers? Yeah, I do. I think they're really useful, especially if you like that crispy, crunchy texture in a lot of your foods and you don't want to be frying all of them. It's not a magical replacement for deep frying though. Anything that has a wet batter won't fry well in an air fryer. Anything that is coated in a dry layer, like Korean fried chicken wings are just like pressed in cornstarch, that won't fry well at all. You'll just end up with like a bite of dust. So your mileage may vary. Aaron, are you ready to eat? Do you want a bowl or a plate? Wow, that was a very loud clap.
We'll do a
So that's it, guys. This
pretty
is
bowl.
like my favorite Chinese home cooking dish. Super simple. It only took an hour because I'm talking with you guys. Otherwise, if you have the rice ready, it takes literally like 12 minutes. So. Are you gonna use a fork?
what do you recommend?
I don't care.
Yeah, I guess it can be eaten with anything. I think I'm gonna use a spoon.
I like a spoon. And if you're gonna use a spoon, can I use it to give you your rice first?
Mm-hmm. Which spoon do you want?
Rosa, the bananas are on that chair. There.
I'll show off a couple of June's wonderful spoon collections.
Well, you're gonna eat with this.
You should have one live stream where you show off your entire spoon collection.
I did that already.
Talk about where you got all of them.
I did that already.
All right. Well, I guess I just come up with good ideas then.
Yeah. Very disappointing. This rice didn't give me a crunchy exterior at all, but it's still on a tiny flame, by the way, guys, and it's probably been half an hour now. Super fluffy rice. Very nice separation of grain. Not very sweet, and just kind of like a very nice bland starch component to your meals.
Did somebody suggest fish sauce and chili on
Yes.
top? Or okay, that's what I'm doing then.
All right,
So
grab your fish sauce.
It's either in this cabinet or the left one. The left, above you.
No, the fish sauce is here.
Yes. Okay, that would have been the last place I looked.
Bottom shelf, squat little yellow topped bottle.
Got
Are you hungry? 1 to 10, how hungry?
it. Pretty hungry. 7.83.
Is that enough rice?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
I'll
a
just go.
goodly amount.
Uno más. And then I will use the
Yeah, I do be hungry. We had a big workout today, so I'm usually pretty hungry after working out. Thank you for the suggestion, Calf. I think that was Calf originally.
fish sauce?
I think so. Or, I don't know.
I thought it was someone else.
Maybe I'm crediting the wrong person. Yeah, it was Calf.
Oh, thanks, Kath.
And Nguyen Chow. Oh, well, there's Nguyen Chow said fish sauce, and then Kat said it was everybody. It's a group effort. We're all smart here in the June land.
I have such a smart audience.
You guys are geniuses. You're a bunch of brain geniuses.
You are. All right, Aaron, come eat.
I'm gonna try it without toppings.
I would recommend holding it on the bottom so that your hands don't start warming up. Yes.
I love this dish. Truly, I mean, China is a land of incredible food. As you guys probably know, one of my two favorite cuisines in the world, but this is one of my favorite Chinese dishes. It's just so simple. It's so enjoyable. It makes me happy. Mm-hmm.
I don't know
Yeah.
if I salted it enough. Did I salt it enough?
I mean, the fish sauce is definitely gonna add salt. So I'm not gonna add salt, but I will add the fish sauce, and I think that'll bring it up to the level of saltiness that's necessary.
Yep.
But yeah, it's excellent. And to decide what chili to use, should I do chili powder? What do you guys think? Hot sauce, chili powder, chili flakes, red pepper nice tasty, all of the above. Sesame chili oil, sambal chili oil. Do we still have sambal? Sambal.
You finished it.
I finished it. I did, didn't I? I'm gonna hit it with just some standard chili flakes for now, and then we'll think about it.
Do you like more ooh, I smell that fish sauce.
Yeah.
Wow. Ow. Fuck.
Sorry. June dinged her head on the cabinet. So this is where we are at now with the fish sauce and chili flakes.
I'm gonna have a nasty bump on my head tomorrow, guys.
Oh yeah. Now we're in Flavor Town.
What'd you put?
So far, just fish sauce and these chili flakes. Do you want to taste it?
I'll try a little fish sauce later on my own. I
Okay.
don't want any pepper.
No
Red
chili.
pepper. No chili.
Oh yeah.
It smells so good. It smells like a breakfast
Sandwich that has the freshest ketchup on it.
Did I miss something? Why will you have? Oh, June bumped her head on the cabinet because I left it open. Car full, June. Can we have leftovers night sometime soon?
Yeah, but what would that mean, Del? What do I cook? I forgot to put garlic.
That can be fixed.
It is so good. The rice grains are almost squeaky. The rice grains are squeaky. I don't know what's going.
Yeah, I thought it needed some garlic, but I forgot that was normally a part of the dish.
If you like fluffy rice that isn't like too sweet, this is the perfect rice grain.
This will have to do. Normally I like big chunks of fresh garlic in there, but this is gonna still help. Thank you.
I just really like to like mix it until all of the juices from the tomatoes are absorbed by the rice, and then you basically just have mush.
How much better does that smell with the garlic powder on immediately?
So good. So good. So good. Usually I stir fry some garlic in before I add the tomatoes, but we only have like 4 cloves of garlic left, and I still need some for recipe development, so I just didn't put it in.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna let's show off this. This very cool company sent June some hot sauce. Here you go. And I'm gonna augment with some of that. It's called African
Dream Foods.
As usual with these small companies, they claim to, like responsibly source and stuff with like good farming practices and all that.
Apparently 10% of each bottle goes towards conserving Africa's wildlife. I'm looking forward to using these, but also never use these plastic toppers that are actually grinders, because Aaron told me this. Every time you grind something really hard like salt grains in plastic, you basically run the risk of microchipping.
Yeah, you're grinding little bits of
Particles.
plastic into your food if you use that. That's why you
So-
should use proper grinders with metal burrs.
This is plastic construction on the outside, but the actual mechanism is all stainless steel.
Yeah. This is what I've already been using, Southern Bry. It's a fermented hot sauce. It's really good.
It was very strong. I only took a little bit, but the flavor was like very masculine, macho.
It's about to meet my rice.
Comfort food.
Yeah. pure
I'm
comfort
going
food.
to add some fish sauce. I don't know what brand this is. It is in Thai. Oh, Cock brand.
Good stuff, June. It's literally Cock brand.
Cock brand.
Yeah.
Like the sriracha.
There we go. Now we're driving deeper into Flavor Town.
Fishiness.
Did
Fermentedness.
Did Guy Fieri trademark Flavor Town? Are we allowed to say Flavor Town?
Somebody wants a stream of you taste testing hot sauces.
I would absolutely do that.
Fish sauce. Perfect. It adds a nice little sweet curve to it. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Guys, I forgot to add sugar to my tomatoes. Wow, what a mess.
Forgot sugar and garlic, June?
What a mess.
An utter nonce. June is an utter nonce.
Like I say, it's never too late. Not very much, just a teaspoon of it. It just helps you pick up the tomato flavors a little bit more if your tomatoes aren't super fresh, if they don't taste like they're in season. You just add in a little bit of sugar and it really helps bring out that freshness. And now I get to have a little bit more sweet in my slosh. Goodbye, Aaron.
I'm coming back.
Oh. Guys, it was so fun cooking with you, making one of my most favorite Chinese dishes. And tomato and egg is such a classic combo. A lot of people have sort of suggested shakshuka in the Instagram story I posted, asking what to make with tomatoes, which is also a fantastic idea. But this is just my ultimate comfort food. I love it. As you can see, it's not mush, but it is also mush, so. Lee, I put my sugar into glass because if you can get an airtight seal on your sugar, it reduces the chance of it absorbing moisture through, you know, paper bags that it comes in, which then causes it to clump. So if you want to keep your sugar
You don't want cakey sugar.
right, if you want to keep your sugar like nicely sandy and granulated. Oyster sauce, I haven't tried it. I can only imagine oyster sauce being absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Oyster sauce for me though, it's like very salty, guys. It might even be saltier to me than fish sauces. But that's probably because it's so thick that every time I whack out a little bit, it actually whacks out a lot. So it's a little hard for me to control out of that bottle. You really can't go wrong with spices and condiments on these things. Just add it to your desire. Take out a little bowl, mix in a little condiment, do a little tasting flight for yourself.
June loves whacking things out. Any comfort food for cramps? What kind of cramps? Feminine cramps?
If you have period cramps, one thing that has really worked for me very well is making ginger tea with fresh ginger. You just basically sliver or slice some ginger, boil it in water. You can add honey if you want, but I just like to drink it straight. And it really warms me up and it really kind of calms and melts my cramps away. So, feminine cramps. I'll give you a feminine cramp right now, Aaron.
You do that to me all the time. This is great, June. Thank you.
Thank you for eating.
I saw in your YouTube poll, people said they just watch, like 96% of people said they just watch along for weirdness and don't cook along with June. Does anybody here actually cook along with June? Is anybody cooking right now? I want to know.
Yeah, some of them do.
Are you cooking now? We probably can't comment.
Some of
Because
them
you're too
meal.
busy doing
Some
it.
of them meal prep, which I love. You're obviously free to do whatever you want. I just love it that people are like also cooking instead of just
I
watching
do
me.
sometimes, says Del. Cambria says I am. Somebody else is making a ramen eggs. Yeah.
I'm gonna eat all of this.
I have a flan cooking. Flan.
Do you want
flan.
more?
I do want. I'm down to the rice now, so I'll take a bit more toppings.
Get under. You want a lot of eggs, dude.
Yes. Are you not eating them? Are you
I
not
am.
hungry?
I'm hungry.
It was a good call.
It was delicious. Apple and cookie butter sounds good. Bye, Crystal. That's it, guys. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow, depending on how smoothly our handoff with Fred goes. Maybe I'll see you here at night. Maybe Fred will make an appearance. No promises. We might have our hands full just getting him situated.
Have you streamed every day since going live?
I think I have streamed every day. If you want to be a moderator, you can always volunteer in the chat box, and when I go through the chats later, I can just click and make you a mod.
As I might have said before, June literally watches the entire stream through after it's over. So she will see your comments. She reads everything you guys say. Hateful or good, whatever you want to say, just put it in there. If you have a good insult to say to June, she'll see it.
I so very much enjoy my time with you all. And that fish sauce is still in my mouth. This time my attention shifted immediately to my fridge, my low humming fridge in the background, churning like the eternal servant that it is.
Your mind is always on the fridge. Good night,
Bye guys.
or good morning, wherever you are.